Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. So Jupiter moves into Aries on May 11th, and it will be there for basically an entire year until May 16th, 2023. There will be a dip back into Pisces on October 28th, around the fall time of this year. But for the most part, it'll be in a new sign. It'll be in Aries for a year, and this represents a new transit for Jupiter. And I have to tell you, intuitively, I feel very good about this Jupiter transit, so much so that I felt guided to do a reading on it for all 12 signs. And so if you are interested in seeing the way Jupiter moves, I do have a schedule of Jupiter's movement in the description below. But let's go ahead and start off by getting a few fortune cookie oracle cards here to help lay out the context for us here. Okay, and okay. So, Gemini, you have declutter. Declutter your life, let go of correspondence, objects, and people you no longer want. Someone will hurt your feelings and reveal a new side of themselves that you may wish to avoid. Gemini, it's always important to declutter. Your environment is a rendering of what's going on in your mind. So if you have things thrown out, thrown across the room, if you have not cleaned up, if you have not, tidied up, if you've not done any of that stuff, it can be an indicator that maybe there's some grounding that needs to be had. I know personally, I keep a very clean space. I keep a very minimal space, and it helps me with my grounding. It helps me subconsciously as well. You have opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of action, plus a special family reunion looks likely. I definitely like to see that for you, Gemini. Opportunities definitely can come forward with Jupiter energy, and then you also here have travel. Long distance communication will open up your life. Exciting experiences for singles and career advancement for others. Okay, travel is always fun as well. So I like these three cards definitely for you, Gemini. Let's go ahead and put these right here and get into some tarot messages. So I am using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. There is a link to this in the description below. I'm also using the Psychic Tarot. There are links to everything in the description. But let's go ahead and let's pull a few tarot cards for you here. Now, you know the drill. The only way this channel continues growing is if you hit the like button on my videos and also subscribe. It really does help me with the growth of the channel, but more importantly, it helps get the message out to people who may need to hear it. So help me distribute this video by hitting the like button. All right, let's go ahead and get all these cards out here. So Gemini, you have a ton of air. You have a ton of air coming forward, more than any other sign for this Jupiter series that I've done here. Okay, so let me see here. Make sure everything is in view, as you know I like to do. I think that looks just about good enough to me. Gemini. Jupiter, Aries, Gemini. Here we go. Energy on the bottom. We have your energy. Okay, this is the Gemini card. This is the Lovers. Fun fact, the reason this is the Gemini card is Gemini is the sign of duality. And you have two people here on the card indicating duality, indicating the dueling nature of life, and also the feminine and the masculine, right? And so, yeah, fun fact, this is your energy. Doesn't matter, because what's important here is you are showing up on the bottom. And so this transit is going to see you putting yourself first. This is going to see you maybe even doing some type of self-love here, I feel, with this Lover's energy. Now, of course, this can bring an important union into your life. This can be a very good card for attracting a deep relationship with somebody. Absolutely. I would want to see a little bit more confirmation of that. I actually feel like this is going to be a big time of self-love for you. Of course, if you are single and you do, put energy towards finding somebody, I certainly think that could be possible. I do have to say that this Jupiter transit feels very good for that, specifically this summer. Seems like summer of love type of energy here is what I keep feeling intuitively for many people in the collective, particularly if you are single. But yeah, so definitely like to see that on the bottom. Now, getting right into this here, we have in the middle, you have the World. So this reading starts off with a bang here. two major arcanas, and one of them is the World, which the World is an extremely important card of completions and cycles coming to an end. Okay, this is certainty. Okay, there is another word that's coming to my mind here. Well, if it comes back in, I will absolutely say it. But basically, when you see the World, you can be certain that something is closing out. You can be certain that you have learned the lessons that you've needed to learn. This is like essentially the last lesson of the major arcana. And this can really bring about a big victory into your life, which, by the way, this is also another card of travel. You do have this travel energy here, and you do have another, let me see here, you have 1, 2, 3 cards of travel plus the travel oracle card. Some of you will be doing some travel, and this one could be international with the World. This is absolutely implied here, but this is also Saturn energy. Some of you may be going through your Saturn return, which that can happen if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, or even if you're in your late 50s, early 60s. And then there's another one which not everybody gets to, but it's around the like 80s. Somewhere in your 80s, but some of you could absolutely be going through that here in the next year. Now, in the first column, you do have all swords. You have 6 of swords, 9 of swords, and the 2 of swords. So first time this has happened here in a while, first and foremost, in a while, in any of my readings, but certainly during these Jupiter energies here. Of course, you are an air sign. Swords can be a bit of a challenging suit, but they are all necessary, and they all have, pluses and minuses to them. So you have this 6 of swords energy. Of course, this can see you traveling somewhere. You can see the people in a boat here moving forward. They're actually going through the night, right? They're taking a trip through the night. They don't exactly see where they're going, but they know they're going somewhere. And more importantly, with this 6 of swords, this represents a transition to a better place, because they're letting go of the 5 of swords energy. You actually have the 5 and the 6 of swords next to each other. So if there is something here that you need to get away from, or you need to transition away from, this is the time. Okay, this is the time in this year. It could be anything, right? I'm getting this eating is coming in. Maybe some of you are excessively eating, and somebody may be triggered by that, but my intention is not to trigger you. It's just what came into my mind. And there could be other things here. It's not obviously going to be eating for everybody, but there's something around you transitioning away from something is not working for you, which is the 5 of swords energy. You have this 9 of swords here as well, which is somebody who's really having a nightmare. Okay, they're kind of staying up late at night, and they actually think that these 9 swords are going to hit them or are going through them, but they never actually do. And so this can say that there's like a bit of fear casting happening, where you are concerned about something that actually hasn't happened yet. Nightmares are very real, and nightmares are very challenging things to deal with, but they haven't happened in the real world, right? They haven't happened here. And so just something to consider, right? Just something to consider. And so I do feel like maybe some of you are maybe even going through a dark night of the soul, working through definitely dark night of the soul energy here going forward. Some of you trying to figure something out here. You have the 2 of swords as well, which is another energy here of blindfoldedness. You can see that they can't really see the road ahead. Similar, the 6 of swords, they're in the dark, right? They don't really know where they're going, but they know they're sailing somewhere. This person is having a hard time seeing. And this can come forward, this 2 of swords can come forward when perhaps there is a miscommunication. This card can come forward when there's a war of words between 2 people, emotional daggers being thrown between you and another person. This can also be an energy of interference, mental interference, where this is maybe happening internally for you, like a mental conflict type of energy that shows up with the 2 of swords. So I feel like this is a bit of a challenging one to start off, but it gets much better. And I feel like for some of you here, there is absolutely Saturn return energy. Obviously, not everybody's going to be going through that here, but for others of you, there's just some type of like inner soul work here that you are doing. And it's also, by the way, at the mental level, just to be very clear for many of you. So in the middle, you have the Five of Swords, the World, and the Eight of Swords. So we talked about how this Five of Swords energy is somebody who's defeated, right? And that's why you have the Six of Swords next, because it represents you walking away from or sailing away from those things, moving away from those losses, those situations that are difficult, that are no longer in alignment. And I like this because the World is below it. The World says you're completing that. That cycle is over. That chapter of your life is no longer in alignment with you. You are moving forward and away from these difficulties, from these losses, from these things that just aren't serving you. You also have this Eight of Swords below it here, which is somebody, once again, you have two messages here of blindfold, right? You can see the two blindfolds on these people here in the card. And, you know, they are trapped in their mind. The reality is that there's something here. It's almost like, I'm getting the word hidden. There's something hidden here going on. And I think this is in your thoughts, okay? It's almost like there's something hidden here happening, where I do wonder if some of you, I wonder if some of you may want to look at the bigger picture of a situation. I think some of you are going to start doing that. The World is also triggering this big picture energy to me, like this zooming out, looking at the world, like in space, looking at the world. Like, I think some of you are zooming out here. In the last column, you have the Queen of Swords, you have the Three of Wands, and you have the Queen of Wands. So double queens here in the future. Definitely people coming in. We have this, Lover's energy, the dueling nature of life, two or more people in this reading. You have these two queens, which I definitely like to see here for you. Definitely good ones. All queens are good. All kings, they're all good. But for you, for whatever reason, I'm definitely feeling this. So this is a fire sign here, but this person is attractive to many people. And, they are really kind of somebody that you want to surround yourself with, because they're fun, they're witty, they're, intelligent, they're fiery, they're passionate. The Queen of Cups is a trusted friend. This is a trusted friend or ally. Can also be a good partner, just like the King of Cups in the tarot. And more importantly, the Queen of Cups asks you to take a look at your inner messages. It's a major energy of intuition. It's one of the major cards of intuition next to the High Priestess. You do have this Three of Wands energy as well here. I like what I see coming into the future for you here, Gemini. The Three of Wands is about travel potentially, but it's about adventure. It's about adventure. It's about going somewhere new, especially next to the World card. And the fact that we have this Six of Swords energy here, we have this travel card for sure. I think some of you are decluttering your mind, by the way. This declutter energy here is your mind, is really what I feel like is happening for you. The other thing about the Three of Wands is taking something to the next level. If there's a place you've always wanted to go, like let's say you always wanted to go to Iceland, why not go to Iceland? I feel like I feel like the world is opening up this month, and the world, but I do feel like people are going to be getting out this summer, and I almost feel like that energy for you. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Let's pull some additional psychic tarot messages. Can we get 3? Can we get 4? Can we get 3 more? Okay, that's a lot more than 4, but that's all right. So you have heartache and loss, more swords energy here coming in. What else do we have? Very nice. You have my favorite card in this deck, Accelerated Motion, which is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands in the tarot is a card of travel and long distance travel here, especially as you have the World, no question about it. You have solitude, emotional loss. Some of you are grieving. And then you also here have rejoice in celebration, choose wisely, and balance. Okay, some of you have a lot of options here in your life, I feel like, just in general. And I have to say, you've gotten more of these psychic cards than any other sign that I've done here for these Jupiter readings. So this is interesting indeed for you. Now, I definitely think travel is in alignment here. I've said it 100 times, but some of you are going places. Some of you may even meet a person at a distance here. You could meet somebody on a trip. That is certainly potential here for some of you. With the Lovers and all this travel energy, this is certainly the case if you are single. I also feel like some of you are maybe grieving a connection that you realize is no longer working for you, with the heartache and loss, rejoice and celebration, and these two queens. Combine that here with this solitude energy, which is really somebody who's maybe taking as much time as they need to be alone and find the answer within the voice of their soul. And so it's almost like with this emotional loss, it's like some of you are thinking about that. There's this Libra energy here, which is really about karma and realizing that there's sort of a natural balance in the universe. And, you know, at the end of the day, all parties get the outcome they deserve. So as long as you are maintaining a high vibration, the balance card is a very good card to find. But this is kind of what I have here for you. This is an interesting opportunity, interesting reading. I think a lot of interesting opportunities, particularly for travel, but also to clean up your thoughts, your mental processes, maybe the connections in your life that no longer work, and literally maybe physically your space. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next reading.